Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, so motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Real quick, as always, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribe. Thank you everybody who's sticking with me through the journey. Each and every one of y'all is appreciated, and let's get straight into it. Okay, so today we had a trade. We messed up on that trade, and we broke even on it. I'm gonna show you how or why. This was actually the original trade right here. So we're saying, Devin, you should be in the profit. Yep, should have been. It should have actually wicked take profit, because look, it would have been. It touched take profit, right? But I wanted it to break this support, or at least like break through it. What did it do? Created a bounce. Wick came all the way up, then created another bounce. So now that's looking like a very attractive area. And no telling what I would have done on this first wick. I probably would have took profit because I got scared out up here. And but right now it's looking very intriguing for a gap right here to get filled. Stop loss up there, gap get filled, and then break these lows right here. That's looking very intriguing. Why? Because on the 5 minute, it's technically not a range, even though it kind of looks rangy. On the 5 minute, it actually broke structure, as you can see, because last swings, see these candles actually closed below it, so it actually broke structure. Let's go to the 1 minute and see, because again, we are thinking about getting in. Might be a little bit of a risky one, because just might be a little risky, honestly, because the market isn't really moving like that. Excuse me, good people. If it runs through this gap, then we don't want it. Let's see. It's wicking. It's wicking it. Okay, we're gonna get in. Okay, we're in. Okay, so why did I get in? So I got in just now, 2 contracts. I got in just now for 2 contracts. Why? Because we have these equal lows, and it's a little bit of a support. We already broke through it before, but we used it as support just now and created equal lows. Might be a little risky. Why? Because it's a little rangy, but it did break structure to the downside. Again, it did break structure to the downside. Stop loss is up here. And because we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we created an equal low, we pulled back into this gap right here. And so now it basically gave you like a second opportunity to hop in for the break of structure to the downside, also to fill more of this gap, right? So let me give me a little chance to take my breath. Okay, because no matter how long you've been trading, it still gets your heart racing whenever you trade, right? It still gets your heart racing a little bit. Remember yesterday how I said, I'm just gonna go over what I said yesterday, how I wanted us to stay through this little area right here, because I was looking for shorts. That we were technically already in this gap. That I would have had my stop loss up there if we would have been right here, and then bring it all the way down to these equal lows, right? Remember yesterday I said that, if you guys watched that recap. But we actually pumped up, and to start the day, we basically broke structure to the upside, right? So like, okay, we broke structure to the upside. Now I want to see us get a pullback basically into this gap, and that would be kind of like a fair value gap. Like if basically like a fair value gap. Sorry, I'm looking at the position. Basically like a fair value gap, like if you're going to the upside, right? So what did I see? So basically, let me go into this first trade. So what did I see? I seen it was pump up. I was like, okay, let me see if we get a pullback, use this as support, and then get a change of character to the upside, pull back to the 5 minute, 1 minute fair value gap, and then shoot up to the upside. What did we get instead? We didn't get okay, let me just put this down. So we didn't get a real bounce. What did we get? We got a bounce to this 1 minute gap, and that's where I got in my first entry. Why? Because we use this as support, but I was like, okay, if I had this entry in my 1 minute to see if we can break through, and this was my original position. Bam. And I wanted to come all the way down to this support right here, right? But why did I get out early? I convinced myself. Let me not get ahead of myself. So I got in at this gap, and I was like, okay, if it wants to break up and go to the upside, it's going to stop me out, but that'll be for a minimum loss. Stop for the upside, and then it will come back down for a fair value gap to go back to the upside, right? So I was like, okay, I'm ready for that if it stops me out for that. But if it wants to go down and come to the support, I want to get in at this gap, right? And so I got in at this gap, and it paid off, and it boom, boom, and at first it created equal low, and then it ended up breaking through, right? I wanted to stay in for this take profit down here, right, to the support. But what did I do? When it dropped down and wigged and it started coming up against me, I closed my trade, basically break even. Rookie mistake, but I had convinced myself that this right here was like an area of support, which I shouldn't have done. Like these right here. I shouldn't have done. Why? Because we broke through support. So basically, we're going to kind of fall all the way down to another support, right? And this is kind of like a weak support. That's what I was going through my head. Like, that's kind of a weak support, but at the same time, it still can be a support. And I was just kind of overthinking it. And it came back up and stopped me out. And yeah, it came up, stopped me out for a loss. I mean, not for a loss, for actually break even. I mean, like probably $1. Break even, right? And so then actually what did it do? And it played around a lot. So I would have been in this trade for a while, and then it came down, boom, broke that structure again. And as you see, it's kind of struggling to go down, and wicked up, came all the way back up, and then broke down again, and it's giving wicks, heavy wicks. So we're getting heavy buying power right now, but I would have been positive. I would have won that trade about $50 because it was only one contract, right? So that was my first trade. It could have been a winner, but instead of break even. And, you know, honestly, I like the trade I just took. I do like the trade I just took, but yeah, I mean, I like the trade I just took. Why? Because we have these equal lows. We came back. We basically broke structure in the 5 minute. Broke structure in the 5 minute, right? There's a bunch of wicks, but you do see this solid candle that is kind of like a break structure. Also creating a bunch of equal lows right here. So like, okay, come back up, fill this big gap right here, give me a reaction, and when it started give me this big wick, this is when I got in right here. Right now I'm negative, but I have my stop loss at the top of this high all the way up here. And it could come up and stop me out. That'd be sad, but you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is, right? That'll just be what it is. We're not feeling like we're getting the best, cleanest setups, right? We're kind of having to really like, just, I don't know. It's just not giving us the best, cleanest setups, but we are trying to be patient and wait for our setups. We felt like this was a good setup again because equal lows. It technically broke structure to the downside in the 5 minute, pulled back into this gap that ended up breaking structure, right? Created an equal low, pulled back into this gap that created that equal low. So that's where we took the trade right here. And man, so we have our stop loss up here. So let's see what happens. So let's go over the data that we had come out today. What data did we have come out? Not too big of data as I went over yesterday. Balance of trade. Oh no, that's not that. Sorry. Fed Bostic speech was at 9. 6-month bill auction, 3-month bill auction, quarterly grain stocks, corn, soy, wheat. That comes out at 11. But 6-month bill auction came out better than, well, actually came out a little worse than previous. 3-month bill auction came in better than previous. Again, not too big of news that's gonna really move the market any type of way. Oh my goodness. That don't make sense because it created these equal lows. We know it wants to take out these equal lows. As well as filling some more of this gap. It could be stopping that out. Yep, it could be swapping that could be stopping that swing out. Basically, kind of how remember that one trade that I took? It took out that inner swing, right? Because remember that one trade I took on that last Tuesday where it stopped me out because I had my stop loss at this inner swing that had created that equal low. It's kind of like the same thing, basically stopping out the swing that that made this equal low, and could be coming up, basically could be stopping out that inner swing that created this equal low, then could be turning back around. But let's see. In the 5 minute again, we were off the 5 minute. The 5 minute technically did a lot of wicks down here, but a lot of equal lows. A lot of equal lows down here. So we're gonna stay in the 5 minute because it's a lot of stress that all them candles be creating. So let's see. Again, you guys are good luck. You guys are my good luck. I've had like 3 or 4 winning trades on live with y'all, and I've only had 1 losing trade. So let's see. Let's see if we can keep it going. Where did we get in at? We got in right around here. Yep, got in right around here. So not the best risk to reward. All right, not the best risk to reward. Not the best. Yep, it could be doing that. It could be stopping out that swing high. So this is how you guys can literally see, and it might not play out, but like if it does, you guys can see how it does these things. How I learned from that Tuesday where I had my stop loss at this inner swing that created that equal low, and you can see how it could take out this inner swing, basically stopping people out that had their stop loss at this inner swing of creating the equal low, and then it could come back down and take out these equal lows, right? Or it could come all the way up, stop me out for a loss. You know what I'm saying? But just saying what it could do. Right now, minus 60 bucks. Because I put 2 contracts in. The first one was 1 contract, and that should have been a winner. But again, we got spooked out. Not spooked out like we didn't follow our Jesus. Not spooked out like we didn't follow our trade discipline and strategy, like our stop loss and take profit. We got spooked out because we thought maybe the move was over because it took out it created equal low at first, or relative equal low, and then it took it out. And I got spooked out that thinking maybe this was like some type of support right here, and that's where we messed up, and we paid for it. I'm not gonna lie. So it is looking like now it's creating like kind of like a relative equal high. It's looking like it is gonna take out that equal high, then it could come back down and take out these equal lows. I'm still convinced that it could take out these equal lows, but I'm not liking these candles right now. We're not liking these candles right now. Ugh. We are not liking these candles. Let me see what the 15 minute looks like. Yep, 15 minute, a lot of wicks. Again, I still think we have more room to come down because we have equal lows. We also have more of this gap. We technically did kind of break structure. It is a lot of wicks, like kind of like sweeps, but you created equal lows down here with the sweeps as well. In the 5 minute, you kind of did break structure because you do have these solid candles that are down here. You did break structure. See what ES. So this is also what I like to do is look at ES because this is the SPY. This is the S&P right here, and it's basically this is the SPY. This is what we trade. So I like to kind of see like inefficiencies on the ES to see what it's kind of gonna do or kind of wants to do, as well as looking at QQQ. We have a lot of equal highs up here, but we do have a lot of equal lows down here. So we're just kind of in a range. SPY, we're in less of a range again because we did technically break structure in the 5 minute. Again, not the cleanest trade, but not the cleanest trade, but let's see. Not the cleanest trade, but a convincing one because we have equal lows. We technically broke structure. We pulled back into the gap that created this equal low, and we have our stop loss on the top of our swings, on top of our highest swing, right? Not our highest, but our last pullback swing. Well, not our last pullback swing, but the highest kind of pullback swing, right? Why? Because these are kind of like equal highs, so it could want to take these equal highs out and trend down. But again, it could have took this internal swing. It could be sweeping out this internal swing that created the equal low. Then it could be breaking down. That'd be nice. That would be really nice. Let's see. Please, guys, let me know if you like to see me be trading live. If you guys like to see the full process of me trading live and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I like it. I like trading live so you guys can see my actual emotions. And again, no matter how long you trade, the emotions still will get to you. Like, you just get better at handling them. You just get better at handling the emotions. I want to see it actually run through this gap. I don't like this wick. I want to see it run through it. But again, you just get better at handling the emotions. The emotions never go away. Like, when I get in the trade, my heart starts pumping. Heart starts pumping. Even though I have my set stop loss and everything, my heart still pumps because I still have real money in the markets that I can lose. You know what I'm saying? And nobody likes to lose money, right? I mean, we accept it because that losing is basically the fee for making the money, right? You're taking the risk to make money, right? So, I mean, each trade can be a loss. That's why you have your edge. And I know I say this a lot, but it's just true. That's why you have your edge. So your edge can create more wins than losses, right? But no matter how much trade you take, your heart still does pump a little bit whenever you have real money into the markets, right? So let's see. Man, we hate the range, though. We hate the slow moving, man. We do hate the slow moving. We just want to see it take out the liquidity down here, man. Just take it out. And right now, I mean, we created another all-time high. We gapped up to all-time highs again. So that's what I was looking at. We gapped up to all-time highs. I want to see this use as support. This last high that we had, it did use it as support for our pullback. I got in at the pullback. The 1 minute gap. Because there was no 5 minute gap because it was just a 5 minute flush down, right? And it was like kind of a little bit right when open. Let me see, 8:35. So basically, yeah, kind of right when open. So I took the 1 minute gap. And that could have been a winning trade. But again, we got spooked out, overthought it. We were overthinking maybe this could be a support, and it showed me wrong that it wasn't a support. And it fell. And what did it do? Created equal lows right here. So, okay, it's going to take that out. Boom, took it out. Boom, boom, boom. Created equal lows right where our take profit would have been. And created more equal lows, right? As well as you have this gap down here. As well, you could want to come down and maybe touch a fair value gap down here to the upside for the upside. So we have some confluences for us to go down, right? We just don't like the slow moving. And we don't like what price is doing. Price is fighting his way up. And why is the market moving down? I mean, I think honestly it is due for a pullback, even though it made another high. Nvidia is actually pulling back a little bit because Nvidia made a high of 158.70. I thought it was going to go to 160, but it made a high of 158.70. And it actually has been pulling back a little bit. Tesla's kind of on the downside, all the way at 320. We were actually as low as 318 to start the day, and we pumped back up. Right, it's all the way to 325. Oh my goodness! Don't do this to me, market. See, that's not looking good. That's not looking good. Come on, man. Minus $80. Basically created like a kind of an equal high. So create an equal high, you know it's gonna take out the equal high. Especially for right there. At the same time, man, I do still feel like it wants to drop down. I still do feel like it wants to drop down. Just give me a big old red candle. Alright. Come on, market. Again, not the cleanest setups. Probably could have been more patient. But again, equal lows, a bunch of equal lows, more gap down here. Took out this swing, basically broke structure, 5 minutes to the downside. Came back up, the swing that created the equal low, that's where I got in the gap at. And it created that exact equal high up here. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't sweep out that equal high. Because that's an actual, not a relative equal high, that's a legit equal high. Just like we have legit equal lows down here though. That I'd be surprised if we don't want to take out. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, red candle. Stay with me now. Stay with me now, red candle. Let's see. 2 contracts in. Probably be about, I'm up, what? I mean, I'm down almost $80. Pretty much $80 right now. It's about a 1-1. So, I mean, I'll be up about $80 if it hits TP. I'll be up about $80 if it hits TP. Probably a little more because when it hits TP, it could just, you know, kind of fall a little bit more. But right now, it's not looking good. It created exact equal highs. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if we don't take out these. Yeah. Let's see. I don't want to make this video too long. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be kind of boring just to keep sitting here watching the whole thing play out. But I will update you guys, of course. How long is it? 22 minutes. I think we'll do like 30 minutes to see. Come on, man. You don't want to stop me out. You don't want to stop me out, man. You don't want to stop me out. You don't want to stop me out, do you? I'm too much of a good guy. Yeah. It ain't looking good, folks. It ain't looking good. Not looking good. ES equal highs. ES. Yeah, that's not looking good because ES, look at this gap. Could take out all of this and hit that gap and then break down later on in the day. Yep, on ES you have this gap right here. That's the fair value gap that broke structure to the downside. We could sweep out all of these highs, hit this gap, hit this fair value gap, and then break down later on in the day to take out these equal lows. That's not looking good. Again, you're saying, why didn't you see that? Well, on SPY, there's no demand up here. Well, it's no supply, my bad. There's no supply up here in the SPY. But on ES, there is. Took it out. Could be stopping me out. Minus 82 bucks. Created, it swept out this high. Swept out this high. It kind of created equal high. Technically, swept it out. You see that little wick? It could flush and take all of this out. All of this trend line liquidity. It could flush and take all of that trend line liquidity out. Now that it took out all of these internal highs, it took all these internal highs out. So it could flush and take all this trend line liquidity, but I don't know. It's not looking good. Not looking good, bro. And man, we've been doing good too, but these setups, they've been iffy. I think I do got to be more patient for just like really good quality setups because these setups are iffy. The setups I've been taking are iffy. But again, equal lows, internal swing that created the equal low gap, got in at the gap. Been trending down all day. As soon as I hop in, man, reverses. That's not looking good. I'm not gonna lie. That's not looking good. It's not looking good, folks. Let's see. Just not looking good. We came up to this swing. We came up to this swing. I don't know. We didn't really take it out. But again, we have all this trend line liquidity as well as equal lows down here. It could take out all of this trend line liquidity. But again, I'd be surprised because it's already pumped up so high now. I mean, that's kind of it's a lot to come back down. But equal lows down here, gap, that's a lot of attraction. That's a big magnet. Let's see. Let's see, my good people. What are we at? Because if it gets to 30 minutes and the trade's like still, up here playing around, I'm just gonna call it. Not call the trade, but call the video, and then I'll update you guys. But I did go over the economic calendar. Let's see what we have tomorrow. Fed Chair Powell speech. He's always freaking talking, which we don't really like because the market kind of whipsaws back and forth. We have JOLTS job openings, manufacturing employment, construction spending month to month, manufacturing new orders, manufacturing prices, JOLTS job quits. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day. That's a lot of big data that's coming out tomorrow. So that's gonna be a big one. Yeah, that's not looking good. Yeah, that's not looking good. Oh, come on, market. See, swept out this range and Q. Swept out the range in ES. Ooh, that candle's looking good. Candle was looking a little good for a second. It's dropping kind of quick. Ooh, that's a bald candle. That's a bald candle. Trendline liquidity, equal lows, gap down here, magnet. Let me see if that's a magnet. Let me see if it magnets. Let me see if that pull is strong. Oh, I don't like that candle. Come on, baby, give me some red. And again, this could have been, we could have had a W on the day already, and so we messed up. We overthought it, and I didn't overthink it whenever I was first making the trade. Like it wasn't just a off the dome like reaction, like okay, ooh. No, I had this all planned out. Like we had this support right here. If we fall, we have another support down here. I didn't have none of this. But once I got in the trade and I started seeing the candles, that's when I started overthinking it. Like maybe this could be a support, and that's what messed me up. Overthinking it, and you don't want to not overthink in trading, right? Because you want to weigh out all of the possibilities and see what could be happening and look at all these things, right? Supports, resistance, and look at all these things. But at the same time, you don't want to overthink, like where I overthought it, where this could be support, but it's like, no, we already broke through the support, and now we're going to fall to another support. These is like minimum resistance, right? This is like weak resistance right here. And again, that's why you don't call your trade too early, because even it could still come up, stop me out. But even if this doesn't come up and stop me out, that's why you don't call your trades too early. Even though it's right next to your stop loss, don't call your trades too early, because it could still come up and stop me out, right? I'm not saying this is a winning trade yet. It's looking, well, I don't like these wicks, but it's looking all right now. But if it does break down and it hits my TP, that's why you don't call your trades early, because it could get right there, stop out some of this internal swings, right? Stop out these internal swings, like I said, and it could be breaking down. Again, I'm not saying that's what it's going to do. I don't like this wick on it, but I'm just saying what it could do, and that's why you don't want to call your trades early. And again, on that first trade I took, that's why you don't call your trades early. When you have your set and you already see, when you have your set area and you already see like where you want your take profits and you have your stop loss and stuff like that, don't call it early. And I didn't call it early just because I was like, oh, I don't want to lose no money. I called it early because, again, I overthought it, right? So let's see. Let's see what happens. It could come down in TP, and this actually makes me want to add more contracts. I'm not going to do it. But the way it's looking right now, it makes me want to add more contracts to up my average price to make more money. But I'm not going to do that. And those are the things I would add more size if I was just... Maybe if it comes down here and creates another equal low and then gives another little pullback, I probably will add some more contracts. Because if it creates a third equal low, it's taking it out. It's almost guaranteed that it's taken out if it creates another third equal low, right? I'm not saying this is a winning trade yet. I mean, we haven't hit TP. We're looking fairly good right now. I'm not liking the wicks. I want to see it break down a little bit faster. Yeah, I'm not liking these wicks, but I'm just saying if it does break down and create a third wick, that is really nice to see. Create a third wick, give a little bit of play, then break through. That'd be nice to see, right? Let me see. So right now we're minus $40. Let's see. Let's see, man. Come on, man. Don't fail me. Don't fail me now. You can't give me these two nice candles to the downside, then fail me. Again, you have high, low, lower high, lower low. So it kind of swept out that lower high, and now it could break down. Basically taking out all of these internal highs, swept the lower high, basically stop losses that were up here, and it could break down. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I'm saying just what could be happening, which would be nice, because that'd be a winning trade if it does all that I just said and break down. That'd be nice. Which I still feel like it wants to fall down, because again, I know I keep saying it, but equal lows, gap down here, demand areas down here, right? We have a demand right there, but we have this demand area way down here. And then we're kind of due for a pullback so we can shoot way higher, right? Because again, this big, beautiful bill is about to be passed. We have a lot of good things coming out. So we're kind of due for a pullback because we're at all-time highs again. Kind of due for a pullback so we can shoot up way higher, right? We have all this. We have this gap down here. We have a lot of gaps, right? We have a gap all the way down here in these 600s. Gap. This kind of filled all of this. But You see what I'm saying? Gaps, 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 demand areas. So we're kind of due for a pullback. I didn't take the trade just because I'm like, okay, we're due for a pullback. Let me take a trade to the downside. I went over everything that I already went over with you guys. But I'm saying, like, even thinking about it more, like, we're kind of due for a pullback, you know, which I've been saying that we're due for a pullback. But you got to go off what the market is saying and what the market is doing, because just because you feel like we're due for a pullback don't mean we're going to get that pullback yet. Man, we're not liking that. We're not liking that. Yeah, we're not liking that at all. Man, had us feeling good a little bit for a second too. Oh man. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Alright. I'll call it at 45. Let me see. I don't want to call that video yet. I want you guys to see the whole thing. But again, I don't want to make it like no hour-long video. And if it stops us out, we're going to be kicking ourselves in the butt because it just wasn't the perfect, cleanest setup. But at the same time, it was a good setup, right? You know. But we're going to be kicking ourselves in the butt because we probably wouldn't even have took this late of a trade if we would have capitalized off our first winner. But at the same time, it's like, still feel convicted in it, but you know, it's just not looking good. It's looking good for a little second, but with this candle coming back all the way up, it's not looking good. Not looking the best. Man. Man, there's a whole lot of play around. Market is playing. Ugh. Come on, man. I don't like that. Why? I don't like how it looks even to the upside because we swept out all these internals. Yes, we technically had these equal highs up here, but we tapped into this gap again, right? We already tapped into this gap, then we came up and tapped into it again. But it is getting close to the stop loss, so. Oh my God. Yeah, My stop loss up here. That's gonna be annoying watch because it will end up probably stopping me out, and then later on in the day, it will probably end up taking all of this out. Later on in the day when I'm not trading, when I'm at work and stuff like that. Because price recently has been taking out equal lows and stuff like that later on in the day. Like it did all of this late into the day. Look, that's 12:45. Did all of this late, 1, 2 o'clock, stuff like that. So that's probably what's gonna end up happening as well. As like I showed you guys in ES. Oh, ES, we tapped that gap. But it didn't do equilibrium of it. Consequential approach, something like that. Consequential encroachment. Can't really remember exactly what it's called. Consequential encroachment or something like that. That's what they call it. But I just call it equilibrium because that's also what they call it. There's like kind of like an exact term for it. But come on, if ES is dropping, come on ES. ES can take out all of these lows. It touched it, swept all this out, touched that gap. Come on, man. It did what it want to do on the ES. Took out all of this, came back, tapped that gap. Man, this is a long trade. We do not like being in trade that long. Come on, baby. If this candle or another red candle can take out this white one again, we will be in good hands. We will be in good hands because this was a good power one that fought all of this back. If this candle can take out this bullish candle, we will be in good hands because again, it tapped this gap again. If it can take it out, we're in good hands. We should be in good hands. But at the same time, I don't like all these equal highs being basically at my stop loss. I don't like that. That's why I'm giving my stop loss little room, not because I'm moving my stop loss, but because it could sweep this area. It could sweep it with a wick. And so that's why I'm just waiting for if it wicks it, you know what I'm saying? And then it could turn around. Because remember, I want to see it close of the wick on my 1 minute. I'm not going to wait for a 5 minute because 5 minute could be a huge candle and really extend that stop loss where you don't want it to be. Oh man, down $90. So it'll probably be about 100 and some bucks that stops me out. If we win, it'll probably be about 80, $90 as well. Man, we just want some cleaner trades, man. We just need cleaner trades. Okay, so that's a lot. It's kind of looking like it's gonna stop me out. Video, 45 minutes. So I'm gonna call the video. I'm gonna update you guys if it stops me out. Actually, it might stop me out right now. Please no. Please no, Lord. Please have my back, Lord. Yeah, it's not looking good. But I'll let you guys know what happens. If it was a losing trade or winning trade. If it's a loser, be minus $100 on the week already. Not bad because we can make that up, but should have been a good winning day. But we learned from it. As always, we're just going to keep learning. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep studying. Just keep chopping at it. Keep getting better as always, all right? I love every single one of y'all sticking with me through the journey. Remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure I get paid, all right? Peace.